Story time. Hey guys, I'm Bijuu the bike. Yes, I am an actual bike. This is my confession. This is my story. Cool, now that I got that out of the way, today we're gonna talk about some really freaking messed up teachers. You know, this is something that I think everyone can relate to. We've all had teachers, okay? And there's always at least one teacher that I think everyone can agree on that they hated in their school, okay? And for good reason. I'm not saying you should go around and hate all the teachers or anything, because I had like amazing teachers in school that I actually respected and liked. But there's just some of those teachers out there that people, just nobody gets along with them because they're horrible people. It's literally all there is to it, okay? For example, I remember when I was in high school, I had this math teacher, okay? We had just transferred to her class for some reason. Our original teacher had to basically leave because she got pregnant or she got sick or something like that. So we had to transfer to a new math teacher, and I'm not gonna say her name. And I've probably told this story before, but I'm gonna tell it again, so shut up. In my school at the time, we had these periods for 2 hours at a time, I believe, maybe 3 hours. They were called block periods, where we'd have to be in a certain class for a really long time. Also, excuse if it's echo in here. My posters are all gone, as you can clearly see. They robbed me. They broke in and got my posters, my anime figures. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. We had this class for 3 hours, and it was math. I hate math, by the way. Math is from the devil. And I remember I did all of my work in that 3 hour freaking period in pen. I did it in pen because that's all I had. In fact, that's what I used in most of my classes. I am aware now that maybe that's not what teachers always want, but no one ever told me anything, and so I wrote in pen because I like it better. It's just, it feels a lot better, okay? Pencils, like, I don't know. I don't like the feeling of them, right? Get those pencils out of here. And keep in mind, because she's a new teacher, usually when you get new teachers, they go through all the rules. So she did that. In the beginning of the class, she went through all the rules. She said, like, no looking at cell phones, obviously, no things like that. She literally said this, and I remember it specifically really bothering me. She said, oh, you don't need to go to look at your cell phones, kids, okay? Look at the watch up there. The watch, okay? Pretend there's a clock up here. And I just remember it bothering me so much that she said it was called a watch. It's a good thing she wasn't an English teacher, and I can see why. Look at the watch up there. It's a freaking clock. Ooh, I haven't even got to the worst of it. This is a true story. I really didn't like it. So that bothered me already. And so she went through all of her stupid rules in her class, and not one of those rules said or stated that you could not do your work with pen. So I thought I was all in the clear. I did my 3 hours worth of freaking stupid math that I hate in pen, and then I handed it in. And guess what she said? You gotta redo it all over again, with a freaking grin on her face. She was like Baldi. Baldi gets mentioned in like every video. I swear. Her face. It was, she was her face. You just gotta redo it all over again. Like that. I'm not even joking. And I'm like, can any of you guys relate to that story, okay? I literally picture myself getting a desk and slamming it in her face. I would never do that, and I don't think you should, but it was just more of an inside thing. I was angry, to say the least, about the situation. And she would always be grinning as she got people in trouble. Anytime someone got in trouble or did something she didn't like, she would grin. Okay, all right, I'm getting mad. That's just one of the examples of a teacher that I did not like when I was in school. Well, now that we got that out of the way, let's react to some of the worst teachers ever, okay? And if you have any bad teachers, tell me down below. I love reading comments from you guys. Or I should say girls. I say guys as a both, okay. Who was the worst teacher you ever had? Probably my 10th grade geometry teacher. Oh God, again, I don't know what it is about math. But math, it's in Baldi, I didn't like my math teachers. I didn't like any of my math teachers, hardly. Math is the root of all evil. It's also the square root of all evil. That's a math joke. She openly admitted to the class that she hated teaching math. Wait, whoa, wait, what? So she spent her life being a teacher, and she just told the class, hey, I actually hate my job. You know what? No, she's not a bad teacher. I mean, she is a bad teacher if you hate your job. I mean, she could be good at teaching and also hate it. So I don't know, but at least she's actually being honest. And that she's gone to college and had gotten a degree in English, but was stuck with teaching math instead. One person in the class got an A, 2 people got B's, and a few got C's, and everyone else in the class barely passed or failed. She'd also mark your test answers wrong if you misspelled the word. Okay, you know what? I was gonna give her some credit, but how How dare you, Clarence? Is it because she wanted to be an English teacher, so she decides to mark her spelling? I've literally never heard of a freaking math teacher marking questions wrong because of misspelling. It's like she's doing both jobs at once. She's like trying to be an English teacher. I just imagine she's like, okay, class, what is the Pythagorean theorem, okay? Can you spell Pythagorean theorem? That is so bizarre. I've literally never heard of that. It makes me angry, shakes me to my core. Even if you got the actual problem right, oh, the anger level. I had to go to summer school. Oh my God. So he or she had to go to freaking summer school because of this teacher. I had to go to summer school where the guy who was normally our PE teacher taught geometry. What kind of freaking clown school are you going to? And I aced it. I couldn't believe how easy it made sense to me when he taught it to me. Literally, oh my God, yes. I have actually had teachers. I remember my 4th grade teacher, like I did not like her. She was a bad teacher in my opinion, and no one else like seemed to like her. I just felt like I couldn't learn from her, you know? It's not always because a student doesn't understand, but maybe the way they're teaching is not a very good way of teaching, you know? And the kids they don't really know that unless they're a super smart kid or something like that. But yeah, sometimes teachers just don't know how to teach. And if you got a person that doesn't even love their job, of course they don't know how to teach because they don't love it. And also, like, if you go to school to be a English teacher, how can you just be a math teacher? How does it work like that? I don't know. So many questions. My high school math teacher yelled everything he said like Billy Mays. The square root of 25 is 5. Get OxyClean today. Calmly walks to your desk. Everyone turn to page 35. He wasn't mad or even annoyed. It was just how he taught. I mean, it probably will stick in your head because it's so loud, you know? Okay, so we just have like the bad teachers, right? That are annoying. And you know, we're not done with those teachers, but there's also the teachers that decide to take punishments and they just love to make clowns out of people in school. I'm pretty sure you've seen them out there where teachers, they try to basically overstep their boundaries and start punishing people their own ways, okay? And I'm sure it's not legal, you know? In fact, it's not because many teachers have gotten in trouble. Let's see which ones. Are the guys holding hands? Oh, we're so embarrassed. They probably got into a fight or something like that and they were like, oh, in order to make up, you better hold hands in front of the entire school. Is she freaking making a girl wear a cone? That doesn't seem safe. Just imagine the teacher walking there. Hey, you guys are a bunch of dogs. Wear this cone, stupid. To be fair though, that looks like it's coming from like a vet's office or something like that. I don't know. You don't know the context. Pop-Tart gun suspension? What? Oh my God. Oh my God. I already got another story. It's like, I know, I'm sorry. I maybe talk too much, but this is why these episodes are fun for me to make, to relate to these things, because I can actually relate to them. I'm assuming that someone literally took a Pop-Tart and made a gun out of it as a ha joke. You know, it is funny. It's a freaking Pop-Tart. What are you gonna do? What is we gonna do with a Pop-Tart? Okay? Yes, it's probably not the most funniest of jokes, especially now considering, like, you know, the things that have happened. I can totally get that, but it's a Pop-Tart. Like, it's a Pop-Tart. What are you gonna do with a Pop-Tart? When I was in ceramics class, if you guys don't know what it is, basically you just make like pots and cool like stuff like that. It was actually one of my favorite classes because the teacher was so cool. He would let us be on our phones, do whatever we want, and like actually, you know, it didn't, like, all the kids were actually productive because they were able to have the freedom. You know, that's another thing I don't get either, is like, when you actually give students freedom, then they'll actually be more willing to listen. That's the, you know, I never understood why people don't do that. But in ceramics class, and keep in mind, this was probably in 2007, 2008 or something like that, I made a knife out of ceramic, this stuff, and I painted it, like, it looked just like a knife. In fact, I modeled it after a knife that I had. Okay, now I wasn't trying to stab anybody with it. I just thought, hey, knives are cool. I'm gonna make a knife, okay? You can insert a Yuri joke here somewhere, I'm sure. But what am I gonna do with a ceramic knife? Luckily, I didn't get in trouble. The teacher didn't say anything because, I mean, like, yeah, what are you gonna do with a ceramic knife? But if a kid got suspended for a gun Pop-Tart? Also, apparently the person that actually made this Pop-Tart gun, they got suspended. And I'm guessing the kid and the parents actually took the school to court because they suspended him. And the kids won because the court was like, the school's freaking crazy. It's a Pop-Tart gun. Again, like, for me, it's like, it's not a funny joke. I mean, it's funny, the image itself, but you know, especially like how things are now, it's not a funny joke, but it's a, you can eat it. You can eat it. Teachers in Idaho dressed as a wall? Oh my God, no, they did not. You know, just because teachers are authority figures doesn't mean they're smart, okay? I'm an adult, okay? I could be a teacher if I really wanted to be. And look at me, a Florida teacher. Of course it's Florida. I don't know if you guys know, but Florida, everyone's crazy in Florida. I don't know why. Florida teacher was put on leave after having his students help him drown a raccoon. In what situation is this ever appropriate to do in school? 2 teachers taped a preschooler's mouth shut and threw away his... Ooh, you do that to my preschooler. When I have one, whenever I do have one, how dare you? Come and tape your freaking butt shut. See how you like it. The teachers allegedly laughed and threw away his lunch after taping his mouth shut. While one teacher involved, a substitute, was eventually fired. I don't understand how a teacher could do that. I thought I had bad teachers. Never mind. Preschoolers, like, oh yeah, you gotta be a big, strong teacher, big, nice teacher to do that to a poor child. Even if the child is a piece of crap, because, you know, some of those kids are hard to deal with. I'll admit it, but don't freaking do that. I had a teacher in grad school that seemed to have forgotten that the point of teaching a class was to, in fact, teach, not just belittle the students in it. If you ask him a question, he'd tell you to Google the answer because it was below him to answer it. That actually sounds like a great time, to be honest. Like, honestly, you have to be on your phone to Google, so that teacher must have been cool with you being on your phone. Literally, so many things that if you just had Google while you were in school, you would be fine, honestly. You could just Google it. A lot of things, like, I'm not saying everything, but a lot of things that you learn in school, it can just be Googled. It's easy. We weren't allowed to work together on homework because he didn't believe in that. He didn't believe in homework. Again, I don't see the problem. If he got especially frustrated during class because we weren't performing at his level, he would throw whiteboard erasers or pens. He told us to buy one textbook, then only assign homework out of a different book, which we were allowed to check out from him for 24 hours. 4 of us, one textbook, engineering students. What? Frequently only had 48 to do the assignment. 48 hours, I'm guessing? Would frequently go on rants about how terrible education was here and how he was much better student than we are. As a teacher, he's like, I'm a better student than you students. Like, what is he trying to do? It sounds like he's just like trying to get an ego trip as he goes to school. I am so good. It's like, I don't know. There was no learning in that class, just survival. It sounds like it. My God. Again, oh my God, yes. Teachers that actually make you do unnecessary things for no good reason. When I was in 7th grade, my freaking 7th grade English teacher would give out a packet of homework. Okay, like every week, but it's a freaking thick packet of homework, okay? And when you're getting like this thick packet of homework, it looks very daunting, okay? And it was actually a lot of homework. Like most of the time I wouldn't even have homework in a lot of my classes, but this teacher insisted on giving us this big packets of homework on top of doing work in class. For what reason? I don't know. And the thing is too, and I know I've told this before, but for the new ones watching or something like that, she would make us grade it with her in class. So we would have to grade it as an assignment, and like she would go around the room and we'd have to say the answers and things like that. It's just doing her job. She was just actually lazy, okay? I'm gonna say it because I'm mad at her still. She bent over and everyone saw that she had a thong. It's true. Why are you wearing thongs to school? What is wrong with you? Grade your own freaking paper. Not to mention, I did witness her emptying out a child's freaking bag all over his desk and made him cry because she thought he had something suspicious in his backpack. Guess what? The kid was innocent. I knew the kid. He was like the nicest kid ever. Literally the nicest student in class. She emptied out his backpack all like not even like, oh, I'm gonna take books out. She literally got the backpack, unzipped it, and just like let everything fall out on the desk because he didn't want to open his bag. And I don't blame her. She was a crazy teacher, giving out all that freaking homework with the thongs. See, these are just bringing back my school memories. The thing is too, is like actually when I worked in the same town where I went to school later on, years later, she actually remembered me, which did surprise me. She seemed pretty nice out of work, but in school she was the devil. I remember that kid actually crying, and everyone just felt bad, and she was horrible. She was pretending like she was a college student in middle school. So it's just hilarious. Like, if I just wish I could actually go back to school right now, because I would look at these teachers and I'm like, you think you know, like you think you have such authority. You're like, you don't even know what you're doing. All right, that's what I would say. Okay, just because I know more now as an adult than I did as a kid, because that's the thing, you know? But with that being said, there are some great, fantastic teachers out there. In 2008, a student spilled a water jug on the floor of a lunchroom. Because of the punishment these students received, we're going to hope that they did this on purpose and weren't being punished for an accident. When Vice Principal, I don't care about the name, saw what happened, she made 16 5th grade students eat their lunch off the floor for 10 days after spilling water. You know the school got sued. What do teachers think? The children are just animals? What are these people that thinking they're so high and mighty because they're a teacher? It doesn't matter. Oh, they did. They got sued for $500,000. And I guarantee you it was all over the news. Like, what do people think? Are they loco? They're crazy. Teacher cuts girl's hair. So she was playing with her braids in class and the teacher cut her hair. A teacher took a pair of scissors and snipped off one of her braids. Oh my god. That's a no-no. Girls love their hair. So obviously the parents went and like obviously said something, and apparently the teacher got suspended. Yeah, good freaking, my camera just died. Hey, I'm back. Hi. Hi. Guys, want to do some math? My sister had a 6th grade teacher who was the mother of one of my sister's classmates. This girl was somewhat popular. So anyway, for my sister's birthday, she was having a girls only party on Friday. She gave out the invites and she was very excited. Friday rolls around and nobody shows up. On Monday morning, my sister has to go to school and face everyone, which is pretty traumatic in of itself. So my sister was feeling like crap. So no one showed up to a party. Oh, that's horrible. Like, that would be horrible. During morning lineup, this teacher comes up to my sister and tells her in front of everyone, you know why nobody went to your oh, you don't finish that sentence. What? That's it, Clarence is about to get another freaking beating. Oh, I missed. What did you say? What did you just say to that student, huh? What did you just say? I'm sorry, this is not who I am, really. I'm sorry. So she said, you know why nobody went to your party? Because I threw my daughter a party on the same day and I made sure nobody told you about it. Again, why, you know, people shouldn't be allowed to be in a teacher's position at all because they're freaking the devil. But why? Why could a grown adult woman with a job and kids possibly get out of ruining a 12-year-old's birthday? I'm always of the mind that people do bad things, usually have the reasons, but this woman sounds like she was literally being evil for the sake of being evil. She was Cruella de Vil from the freaking 101 Dalmatians, basically. I don't know. You have to understand that some children are not important. The people in power must always protect their related ones and not let anyone other than them have any moment in the spotlight. If OP's sister had her birthday party, she could have made friends and had a good time. None of this influence were caused by the teacher's daughter, which is no doubt 10 orders of magnitude more important than the OP sister. The teacher was just making sure everyone understands that every bit of enjoyment had to be related or traced back to her in some way. It makes me so angry, it really does. What did we learn here today, guys? Okay, we always learn the lesson on the Bijuu Mike channel, alright? Just because you happen to be a child, or if you know, a child or a younger person in college, whatever, just because a teacher is a teacher, and yes, you should listen to them because they're your teacher, right? But there comes a point where if they tell you to do something that you don't want to do, you just don't do it. Especially if you know in your heart that it's not right, then don't do it. Because guess what? They can't do anything. They can't actually physically force you to do anything. All right? But if you have a good teacher, then I'm really happy. I think there should be more good teachers out there, and I remember and I really respect the ones that I really did like, okay? So I'm so sorry if you have a bad teacher. If you have a bad teacher, leave a comment down below. I love reading your guys' stories. Okay, I'll be hearting some of the ones I like, okay? If you guys enjoyed this kind of stuff and these kinds of reactions, I do a lot of this. Subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed this video, okay? I'll see you Bijuu Scrubs in the next one. Bye, guys.